Justice League 51, Jeff Loveness writing with Marcos Santucci. Was that the one who read this?
Yes.
Okay, it was just me. All right, good to know.
I saw it was a Black Mercy story. I was like, I should read this, and then I just with fandom stuff popping out, I didn't. Please tell me why I should read it, Pete.
Actually, I mean, I liked it. I mean, I also like Loveness's issue of Shazam, which you weren't as hot on, so I mean, it's maybe worth mentioning. But I like the tone this issue has. I mean, it is kind of arguably fluff. I will say one art critique at the very first page is there's this narration, right? We don't know who this narration is all throughout the issue. I mean, maybe we can guess, but it's just not like immediately obvious. There's an issue. The first page is like Batman in one panel, Wonder Woman in another panel, Superman in the third panel, and it's meant to be all of them early on in their careers. And Batman's get his kill off for some reason, which is kind of weird that he's on a rooftop with his kill off. But whatever. The problem I have with it though is I think it's meant to be his buzz cut from like 0 year sort of times in terms of desperation. The problem is it looks bald. So I opened this book and went, why is Lex Luthor in the bat suit? was my initial response. Now, I actually think the art generally is quite nice. So this is not like an ongoing art problem. It's just this one panel, he looks bald, so he looks like Lex Luthor.
Have we ever seen Lex in the bat suit? Seen him in the super suit, of course.
It's probably hammed at some point. I mean, there's been a lot of time to pull from.
If people are listening to this and you find that, you let me know, please.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize Connor left because I started looking at Japanese folklore stuff. And I was like, he's just being very quiet. He's gone from the panel. So
yes, it's gone.
But yeah.
So nice little touch though is that so there's a couple of pages of that just talking about who these characters are. And this narration keeps going, and it kind of starts to focus in on Batman a little bit by basically talking about Batman being scared of endings, and he's always scared of where things are going to go. But even though this is a little 2-issue fill-in, it does actually pick up from where the last one left off in the sense that they're on their way back to Earth in a spaceship. So it actually does kind of try to have some sense of continuity, even though
editorial did their job.
Yeah, even though tonally it feels completely different, and for the better, I would say. I kind of like the feeling of this one, and the art for the most part is quite nice. The flashbacks have kind of a more washed out look to them, which is not a unique idea, but it works quite well. It shows kind of a progression of the Trinity through the years and where they all are now, which is Superman revealing his identity, and the narration's kind of questioning, like, Batman, are you tempted by this? Do you wish you could be honest and do this? But when they come through warp drive or whatever they call it in DC, continuity, they're not at Earth. They're expecting to be at Earth and they're not there. They're somewhere else. There's like lots of ships that have been destroyed floating around the planet. They go down to check out what's going on, and there's this sort of creepy forest. And they basically find a giant Black Mercy. It's like a giant tree trunk, and there's like vines everywhere. It's like, and I think they actually kind of technically reference this could be referencing any Black Mercy story really, but I think they're referencing that first arc of Trinity from Early Rebirth. Where Superman or one of them says something to the effect of, "Oh, we dealt with a Black Mercy a few years ago, but it was small, and this is huge. Don't let it touch you." But of course, one by one, it starts like grabbing them and sort of entombing them in the vines and all the rest of it. Art's really good. Again, this issue flowed super quick. It made me realize just kind of how wordy the last arc of Justice League was. Because this flowed really well and nicely. Lots of pretty art, lots of good colors. Nice money shots for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash. They all get kind of their moments to look good here. And the narration, when we eventually get to it, the idea, because Black Mercy, it's not Black Mercy in the narration, but it's essentially saying that, but it's kind of Black Mercy talking through a specific character, which it makes sense when you get to it. But it says that it already kind of had the grasp on them even before they landed on the planet. It was kind of like, it pulled them here. Maybe there'll be some context in the second part for how it did that. Maybe probably not though, I suspect. It's just big and powerful. But the narration the whole time is being like a sort of zombified Martha Wayne, which is fine because it's Black Mercy. It's this it ends with Batman being in the Black Mercy, and that's Martha Wayne talking to him. I'm the only one who can get you to stop. The idea being that the dream for Batman is that he can stop and he can have a normal life and he can do something that isn't this an end in tragedy like everything always does with him. So that's the temptation. So it's honestly, I thought it was well written. I thought it flowed really well. I thought the art was good. Outside of that one issue, that one panel at the start that I thought Lex Luthor was dressed as Batman. But yeah, I thought it was good. Honestly, like I think Loveness, I felt I've enjoyed the couple of fill-ins that he's done so far. I'd be curious to see him on something longer, but for a little 2-issue thing before we get to the death metal arc that ties in, I'm fine. I'm definitely reading the next one. I was happy enough with this. I probably like it more than the last arc, so you know.
Yeah, might have to go back and actually read this now.
I'd recommend. I mean, if you read it and don't like it that much, then I mean, there's only one more issue of it, so it's not
right.
a huge
Yeah,
commitment.
no, I just I'm a sucker for a Black Mercy story. It's my favorite. One of my favorite Superman stories is The Man Who Has Everything. You know, that story hits hard.
I think my favorite thing about it is as this narration's playing out, showing all these sort of like classic moments of the Trinity, is it feels very kind of omnipotent. You know, it feels it's got this kind of eerie feel about it, and I kind of appreciate that. So, yeah. I would probably give it. Honestly, let me give it an 8. Yeah, give it an 8.